Is the universe fine-tuned, particularly the initial condition?
Well, the universe is certainly fine-tuned in the sense that the initial state of the universe was extraordinarily special. Now, usually when people talk about this fine-tuning, they're talking about something quite different. They refer to the constants of nature, which could conceivably have quite different values. It's certainly the case that if these numbers had different values, and sometimes not very different values, then life as we know it couldn't have happened. But that doesn't mean that some kind of life, or some kind of consciousness, which is really what you need, because a conscious being in these anthropic arguments, you say, well, how could consciousness have arisen? That's the key point. And since we have such little understanding of what consciousness is and what's the necessary prerequisite for consciousness, okay, the argument is a genuine one, it's a genuine question, but it's so far from being able to be answered that I really see it's almost unusable in most circumstances.
So the fine-tuning is fine-tuning for our life, but that doesn't mean that other kinds of tunes can play other kinds of lives.
Exactly. Now there's fine-tuning in the origin of the universe, which has to do with the second law of thermodynamics. It has to have been extraordinarily precise, and in fact it has to have been at least as precise as 1 part in 10 to the power 123. Now that's
an
ridiculous.
Extraordinary number.
It's a ridiculous number, yes. That's right. People worry about the constants of nature. You see, you want to fix those constants, and that's nothing by comparison with this number. The precision that we see in the initial state of the universe completely dwarfs any of these other considerations.
Now, what does that really mean, though, that precision in the initial condition based on the second law?
Well, what it means is that the anthropic argument is useless for explaining it, why the universe was so precise. It has to be a completely different kind of explanation.
But going back to the initial condition and the incredible specificity that the universe had to have, that level of precision is so impossible to conceive of as from some random point of view. I mean, in infinity you can do anything, but obviously, but that's a...
It's no explanation. I mean, that's right. I mean, you can't say, well, there are lots of universes, and out of that particular one, which we happen to be in, that number was that thing. Well, no, it doesn't explain it. You don't get anywhere close to that number.
Right.
Okay, it might have something to say about these few constants of nature, which we have trouble in explaining why they fit together in certain ways. But that's chicken feed by comparison with the special nature of the Big Bang. And the anthropic argument gets you nowhere.
This is an even deeper mystery than the anthropic people normally put out for us.
Yes, it is, yes. No, it needs a scientific explanation. It needs a good physical theory to say why the Big Bang had that nature that it did. And we have no theory which really explains that.